Well, welcome back to the Stadium of Light. A very sombre Stadium of Light this afternoon because Sunderland have been beaten by 2-1 at home by Doncaster Rovers. And Danny, you summed it up at the end of the game there. This wasn't how this afternoon was meant to go. No,
the script didn't go to plan, did it? And that's how football can go sometimes. I think we got that feel-good factor back in the week with the signings, obviously Jermaine and Matete on deadline day, and then coming to the stadium today, thinking, can we react from last week? You know, losing the manager last weekend, coming back here against the Doncaster team who've just had 5 put past them in midweek. So that, you know, we talk about our confidence being low, but they're coming up here after a hiding off Rotherham. And you're thinking, are they going to fancy coming up here? First 10-15 minutes, as I said there, I thought the game went as I expected, although we didn't test the goalkeeper. We had a lot of ball, and then out of nothing, like last weekend, we concede that, you know, that goal there. We'll have a look at the goals in a minute, but just organisation really. And then after that, you're thinking, can we react from going a goal behind? And we never. If anything, they grew in confidence. Had seen some more of the ball. Could have had another 1 or 2. I think they hit the post, didn't they? And then right on half-time they get that goal. But should we go through the goals and have a look?
Come on then, let's have a look. And remember, you can still get your thoughts in. Use the hashtag AskDanny on social media.
Yeah, and I think early on, let's say we had a lot of the ball, but again, we didn't do enough with it. And by that I mean when we're getting in and around that 18-yard box, it's that clever little pass. It's opening them up, and it just wasn't there today. It was a lot of, you know, hustle and bustle. But that'll suit Doncaster, you know, their centre-halves will be happy if we're chucking balls up there, which are 50-50s, and they can compete with it. And I think Dennis Serkin, he was trying to get going on that left-hand side at times. He was willing, you know, every time the ball was transferring from right to left, he was on his way. But we just couldn't service the box. Here now, again, that was good play just prior to that off the clip. There was 4 or 5 good passes where we worked it down that right-hand side, but final ball. And then here's the goal now. We lose possession inside the Doncaster half. And then we get dragged out. You know, as a runner from deep there, nobody matches his run. Doyle comes across to try and get the block in. Again, you can't see Hoffman off picture. He came to the edge of his box and then he went back. And I think that was to do with what happened last week for the first goal.
In his mind,
yeah, I think so, yeah. Getting caught, you can't see him there on picture, but he's backpedaling. See there, now he's back into his 6-yard, but not blaming him, you know.
It's funny when the ball first drops, it could have gone either way. It could have gathered some pace off the surface, or could have rolled back.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
it's got to check on this surface, a dry, sticky pitch. It's going to check and favour the striker there. But anyway, we were organised well enough on matching runs, and then after that, a better ball there, and they're in again. But that was the pattern throughout that first half. After they got that first goal, we weren't organised. We were getting dragged about at the back. You know, people are arguing, should we play a back 3, should we play a back 4? But on, you know, first half showing today, that was with a back 3 where people are saying we've been a lot better. But that first half, we didn't look organised at all. Corner comes in this time. We'll see they get the second goal from a corner from this left-hand side in a minute. But there, don't deal with the first one. As it drops down, they get the shot away, and then Rashawn Williams just can't turn it on target. And then this one's a penalty shot. I don't think it is. I think Ross. See there, it goes down a little bit theatrical, looking for the penalty. I think he doesn't really argue it either. This one we take a short corner. I think Pritchard was bright, to be fair to him, all afternoon. He was that one sort of bright spot for us, really. He kept going all day, and then Ross just can't sort himself out and get it on target. There's another one. Yeah, this one does Elliot Hamilton.
It's almost chances, isn't it? That's what this afternoon we'll look back at this, won't we, on Tuesday, and we'll see a lot of chances, won't we?
It was, yeah, and here's the second goal now, and I said at this point, didn't I? I said I'd get us in now at 1-0 and try and get regrouped and reorganised, and lo and behold, there we go. Tommy Rowe, second phase from the corner, he's still in there. As we see it back in a second. We actually win first contact on 2 of these. That one gets cleared out, then Hamilton helps it clear, but it's this one now, flip round the corner, and he's just alive to it. I think Dan Neil trying to get across to get the block in, but he catches it really well, to give him credit. And that's 2-0 at half-time. And then second half, we come out and see Pritchard here now, trying to get us going. He gets a good strike away.
There was a couple in the second half, particularly where the keeper parries and it just fell the wrong side of us. Stewart didn't on a couple of occasions. That was one of them.
But we almost got going second half, didn't we? It was last week, you know, at Bolton, we didn't really show anything. Yes, Jack Clark came and he got that one strike away last week. But here now, and then I think we'll see Elliot Embleton hit the post in a minute. But we had a couple of opportunities where the ball was fizzing across and the crowd were trying to get involved again. This one now, yeah, Dan Neil catches it quite well. I'd say comfortable for the keeper. A bit of a camera save, wasn't it, if we're honest, but it's from distance.
10 corners for Sunderland this afternoon.
yeah, and then this is that one opportunity they had. Again, they nicked it off us, and give Hoffman a little bit of credit there. He is down well to his left-hand side of the strike from Tommy Rowe. And is that one there? That one there, Lyndon Gooch. It's a good little ball from
his first touch, just takes
from
it away
Elliot
from
Embleton. Yeah, just slides it into him, and it just that's that little moment there where you need to take care of it. It just gets away from Lyndon slightly.
And was this in?
And I think it's hard to say. We've got the centre half.
Ross Stewart's convinced, isn't he?
Ross is asking for it, but you'd expect him to be, even if it's half the ball gone over. We haven't got another angle to look at it, so it's hard to say whether it definitely has or it hasn't.
That's some effort from Embleton. Again, just
this
goes
one
alongside of Stewart.
On another day, yeah, as you say there, Ross Stewart's there. It comes off the post and he can nod it in, can't he?
Jack Clark looked good when he came on, positives.
Yeah, he was bright and busy, wasn't he? He was trying to get on the ball and trying to make things happen for us. But we had loads of those, didn't we, where we were getting in and around the box, balls fizzed across, and the keeper was just dropping on top of it. That one there, Danny Barth up from the corner still. And as it comes in off that second phase, just trying to find that bottom corner, but he can't do.
He's the goal for Sunderland.
And it is, and it comes from Alex Pritchard, isn't it? Just shifts it there. Keeper, defender sticks his leg out. I think he puts the keeper off, perhaps, if anything, so he reacts late after that. And there's Corey Evans to stab it home, and what was it, 5 minutes or so left on the clock?
That was it, actually only 2 minutes of normal time.
Normal time, and then the stoppages, yeah, so you're looking at 6, wasn't it, in total, but, we're getting numbers in the box, and that's, it's not a well-created goal, is it? It's a scruffy one, but it's one of those you take. And then after that, did we really have another look in? But from my point of view, I'd say if you're at home against the Doncaster side, and I'll give them credit, but they're bottom of the table. But we're hoping, can we scramble a point at home to Doncaster? So after last week, 6-0 away from home, coming back here today, big crowd in here.
That's what you got to feel sorry for, the fans this afternoon.
Yeah, massively.
We took 5.5, was it 6,000 down to Bolton at the weekend.
Yep.
They've packed out almost 40,000 in here this afternoon. They've really responded to a charity campaign as well. But I think they just wanted to get behind the new signings as well. They were crying out for something to shout about on the pitch, and it didn't come until the 88th minute, really.
Yeah, it is. And as you say there, when the crowd got announced, it was at just over 38,000, and I'm looking at that thinking, look at this, and the lads have let them down again. Last week, as you mentioned.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, and I said in commentary, the first team coach. It's not the first team coach's fault this afternoon. It's not the people in the boardroom's fault this afternoon, is it? It's,
no.
They've done their work in the transfer window. The lads probably have to have a look at themselves.
They do, yeah, and I'm sure they did last week as well. And from my point of view, I said it last week, and I know the fans straight away when we have a bad result or a defeat like we did, immediately the fans look to the manager. And I get that as well. And sometimes you can question the formation, positions, could you have made subs earlier, etc. But got to look at the players for me. Everyone's saying that the squad now on paper they feel is good enough, and we're up there. We've been up there for the majority of the season, so we are obviously capable of churning out performances, and we've seen that throughout the season. Certainly at home, 3-5-0 wins. So yeah, for me, it falls on the players as well. And I'm sure they're in there amongst themselves. They'll be saying the same thing. They'll be having words amongst themselves. That's not good enough, boys. But where do they go? They've got to get back to we keep saying it. What can you do? You've got to get back to the training ground. You've got to keep working, and you've got to put the yards in and try and turn it round. And yeah, I think one thing that we have got to sort out is when we go a goal behind. We've seen it on the flip side of that. When we go a goal in front here, it's almost like we're relaxed. We start playing our football and then we go get 2, 3, 4. We've seen that. But when we go a goal behind, we've got to show that grit, determination. Don't let the crowd get on top, because rightly so, the crowd do. And I've said it before, I've been there. I've gone goal or two behind here, and the crowd can start to get on top of you. That's a natural reaction, and you've got to expect it playing for a club like this. But the lads have got to be bigger and show a thicker skin, and they've got to react to going a goal behind and getting back on the front foot. Now, when Doncaster have got that first goal today, for me, for 10-15 minutes, we went into our shell. We retreated. Doncaster had some comfortable possession in our half, and they could have gone 2 or 3 up.
Okay, Danny, thanks for your thoughts so far. We'll have a look at your thoughts now in #AskDanny. Let's have a look at one of them, and then when the scores are ready, we'll show you them from in and around EFL League One, because I believe there's still a few games on at the moment. Okay, then, this one's from Robin. Missed the opportunity by the coaching staff to play off the hyped-up optimism. Playing the same team who lost 6-0 was a poor decision. I think there was only one change, wasn't there?
Yep.
When the team has announced, the whole atmosphere was a little bit deflated. That's from Robin.
Possibly. Yeah. Again, it's always easy, I think, after the event to look at it. You know, if we'd have won the game, which a lot expected, then nobody's really questioning the starting 11, and then you bring the subs on, and you know, if it's a comfortable victory, nobody's questioning that. But of course you do. You know, you'll sit there and people will be in the pubs now. You know, the fans will be in there. Why didn't they do this? Why didn't we do that? Again, formation, we changed it. We went 4-2-3-1 last week. We're back to 3-4-3 this week. And it hasn't worked. As I said there, at the back, we looked a bit of a mess at times. Once they got that first goal, we were getting dragged about, and they could have had a couple more goals. Yeah, he's asking the question, and I said before, could he have changed it? We could have made 4, 5, 6 changes, bringing a lot of the new lads in, and I do it in the week. I sit down and I draw up a side, and what would I perhaps go for, and that was a different starting 11 to what I would have gone for. That's just how it is, and I'm sure fans will have done the same. But I think looking at the starting 11 up against the Doncaster team, who have just been
beat 5-0, bottom of the league.
Yeah, in midweek.
Those lads should have done the job.
We had enough on the pitch then, that starting 11. We've got a strong bench. We can't keep saying we've got a strong bench and we've got a strong starting 11, and then we go out there and we don't turn up, and we almost make it an inviting atmosphere for the opposition to come up here, like we did 15-20 minutes in. And I think the Donny lads are probably thinking, these haven't really offered too much. You know, our keeper hasn't had a save to make. And then they come out and they start enjoying themselves a little bit, and that shouldn't be happening.
Okay, let's move on to another one here on #AskDanny. This one comes in from David. We have talent for a League One team to finish top 2. Are we lacking the mental prowess to achieve this goal? Would a sports psychologist be beneficial to help these young players deal with the pressure that the supporters place on them? Watching in from Cold Lake, Alberta, Canada. Thank you for tuning in from Canada, David. Sports psychologist, have you ever worked with one? Yeah,
I've had a couple. I think Roy Keane, actually, in his time here, I think he brought one in. I've had them at other clubs as well, where they bring someone in. Obviously, naturally, it's when you're going through a bad period, when you're not winning games of football, and they bring them in. Obviously, I'm not saying it's a shrink who they bring somebody in and they put you all in a padded cell for an afternoon. They come in, you know, you sit down in the meeting room, you go through stuff, and they try and bring a better atmosphere to the place. But no, I don't know. Listen, I keep saying I've played here. I've played here lots of times where we've had good times, and when the going gets tough, and it can be a tough place to play. It's a hostile environment. It's passionate fans who love their football, and they let their feelings known. And rightly so today. We've seen that first 10 minutes. They were behind the lads, weren't they? There was some good songs coming out. It was noisy in the stadium, and the players have to feed off that. I think first up, the fans want something to feed off, and then they respond and they give the lads back out there. You know, I've played out there. The hairs are up on your neck. The noise in the stadium can be electric. But that
use that to their advantage.
That only comes, and and it goes against the opposition as well. They're like, you know, some of them lads on the Doncaster side aren't used to playing in front of 30, 40,000 crowds, and we've got to try and start using that to our advantage. But at the same time, I just said there, when we go a goal behind, we can't crumble, we can't go into our shell like I felt we have done there today for 15, 20 minutes. They were enjoying themselves. It was almost Olays for 10 minutes or so in our half, and we weren't getting out and pressing, and you could feel the crowd around us starting to groan and getting on top of the lads. And I get that, of course. And we've got a lot of young lads who are, you know, we've said it before, trying to find their feet in the game. It's their first full season. Callum Doyle, Dennis Sirkin, one or two other boys out there, the young lads, Dan Neal as well, local lad, so Dan knows what it's like. He'll have watched games in this crowd and the atmosphere, but they've got to come through that. And you've got your senior boys out there, Corey Evans, Danny Bart, there's one or two others out there, obviously Jermaine Defoe coming on later on, and I'm sure Jermaine, not just what we've brought him in for on the pitch, he'll get around these lads now, especially after today, you know, try and jolly him up. It's a good thing that we've got a game on Tuesday night as well. I think I said it there in comms that we didn't have a game after Bolton, where when you've had a hiding like we did last week, you want to get back out on the pitch as soon as possible. So they've got the opportunity now after today to go down to Cheltenham and to try and put it right. It won't be easy going down there. I think Wigan drew there last week, a tight, compact ground. But, you know, our fans don't want to hear me sat here saying it's a difficult place to go to Cheltenham, you know, at this level. No disrespect to Cheltenham, but it shouldn't be.
OK, Danny, let's have a look at the scores from in and around EFL League One if we can. Here we go then. Burton Albion 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2, Charlton 3, AFC Wimbledon 2, Ipswich 1, Gillingham 0, MK Dons 2, Lincoln 1, Morecambe 0, Bolton 1, Oxford 2, Portsmouth 2. I think that one's still playing at the moment. Rotherham 1-0 victors over Accrington, and it was 1-1 between Shrewsbury Town and Fleetwood Town. Let's see what that does to the league table Of course, Sunderland stuttering in the last couple of games with no points on the board. Dropped to 4th now on 54 points, having played 30. Reading upwards, we have MK Dons above Sunderland, played the same amount of games on 55 points. Wigan played only 26 games, not in action again today, Wigan. And they're on 56 points. And Rotherham played a game less than Sunderland, now on 62 points.
Yeah, it's not looking good, is it, from where we were a couple of weeks ago? You know, and I think we've got to get back to winning ways as well. Just having a look over our shoulders as well. There's still a lot of football to be played, and I said you're keeping an eye on Rotherham and Wigan as well, and obviously MK Dons there have gone above us now. But we've got to keep an eye on our shoulders as well. Now, obviously, say Wycombe got a game in hand on us there. Haven't played today. Oxford have been in some good form. They had a good win last week, didn't they? Had a draw in the week as well away at Wigan, and Sheffield Wednesday have won today. So it's tightening up as well behind us. So in the space of a couple of weeks, we're thinking, you know, it's a 3-horse race between maybe 4 if you include Wycombe. For automatics, all of a sudden now it's tightening up behind us, so we need to start winning games again.
Okay, let's have another look at one of your hashtags. On hashtag Ask Danny, let's move it on. From Peter, does today teach us anything about what we need from a manager?
Yeah, I think depending who comes in, I think the first thing we need to do is obviously say tighten up defensively. You know, well, say scoring goals hasn't been an issue there again. We've gone and fired 2 blanks in the well, obviously we got the late one today from Corey, but you know, all of a sudden we found it hard in scoring goals. But yeah, just getting us organised again. I think on the counter attack we're looking vulnerable at this moment. You know, the first goal there today, prime example, where we lose the ball 10-15 yards in their half, and all of a sudden we're scrambling back towards our own goal. He's clean through and he's tucking it past Hoffman. So, you know, fans will be saying, what's happening there? Why aren't we organised and solid behind the ball? And just we've got asked there about a psychologist coming in, but just bringing a solid, you know, say a winning mentality back into him and dealing with the atmosphere in the stadium. No, I'm not saying that the fans are getting on the players' backs, but I think the fans are entitled today, as they have done, to show that they weren't happy with the performance and obviously the result. You know, with Doncaster coming into town. But no, I think whoever gets appointed, and Christian's mentioned it to us before, that they're obviously weighing up different candidates, interviewing different people, and they'll be looking at the pros and cons of the managers coming in, who's suited to working in the system, working with the group of players that we've got there. So it'll be interesting to see who comes in, but I think we do need to get it sorted sooner rather than later.
Thanks, Danny. Let's move on to another one then. Your thoughts here on hashtag Ask Danny. This one's from Joe. Thanks, Joe, for getting in touch. Is today's result more damning than last week's? Obviously, the scoreline reads better, but at home against bottom of the league, against a side we looked streets ahead of only 6 weeks ago, should we be more concerned by today, given the lift the club was given this week?
Well, I said
I
it
think
there.
you said it.
I said it in comms.
Yeah.
I think last week was arguably I think people have said it's the worst defeat in our history. You know, at the third tier, losing 6-0, and then you follow it up again today against the team who are bottom of the table. You know, lowest scorers, conceded the most goals, and we've put on that performance where we're expecting to get back to winning ways, and it hasn't happened. So it's a concern. And you know, football for me, I always say it's that momentum in football. When you're winning games of football, you feel like you're going to put your boots back on and you're getting back out there and you feel confident and you're gonna go and win games of football. On the flip side of that now, after last week, you know, confidence would have been low, shipping 6 and not scoring, coming back here today, and then we've just lost again 2-1. So, you know, whether it's Mike Dodds and Michael Proctor, if they're still in charge now, taking us into Cheltenham on Tuesday night, or if somebody is appointed, whoever comes in, need a massive reaction from the lads on the training ground. They'll probably be in tomorrow. Lads who've played will have a lighter session. The others will do a bit more probably. And then Monday, it's a quick turnaround. You're getting organised again. Long journey down to Cheltenham, but we've got to react. And the annoying thing for me, and I said it there as well, we've had Saturday. We've had, you know, we've had a freshen up in the week, haven't we? And it doesn't look like we've had that energy there really. And it's a strange one where, you know, if you could say, I'm sick of going on about the pitch, and I'm sure people are sick of hearing about the pitch. It's a heavy, churned up pitch. It's sticky. It's not ideal for playing, you know, flowing, attractive football. Is that sapping the lads' legs? Well, you know, the other team have come up here today, and on the counter attack, they've shown a little bit more energy. So I don't know what's going on there. But now you're looking at the squad, you're looking at the bench, and you're looking at, we've brought a lot of lads in, and they'll be chomping at the bit to get a starting shirt. Now it's competition for places. So it'll be an interesting selection, starting 11, what we see on Tuesday night.
And I'm afraid the bad news continues because Oxford have scored a last-minute winner as well, if we understand, in their fixture. Okay, then, that's it for us for today. We are back in action, as Danny said. Quick turnaround on Tuesday evening. Sunderland are off down to their first visit to the Johnny Rocks Stadium. 7:45 kickoff for that one means we'll be on air from about 7:15 here on SAFC Live. And because it's not a Saturday at 3 p.m, you can buy this game inside the United Kingdom as well. It hasn't gone to plan today. Certainly didn't go to script. We'll see you next time.